took a long time to get a third Bad Boys movie. Why is beyond me. But when we finally got that third movie, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed. So we gotta take off the cool guy shades for this one because unfortunately, we're talking about a movie that is nowhere near as great as the past two. Like the past two, I can rewatch any day. But this third one, it's one and done. In fact, I have a little analogy in my written review that may or may not do a good job summarizing my thoughts on this movie. So, let's just dive in together. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station. You want to for anything animation, including TVs and movies as well. I am your host, Jackson Small. We are talking about Bad Boys for Life today. Yes, I was originally just going to review this movie tomorrow, but I ended up watching all three of the movies back to back to back yesterday. So, I'm just going to finish off these reviews now, and then go back and review some other 2024 movies that I have yet to review. Stuff like If, Furiosa, and the recent Jim Henson documentary. So, I want to get this one out of the way, that way I can get all those out of the way. That way, when Ride or Die comes out on Friday, I won't be as pressured. So, let's talk about Bad Boys for Life. Many people praised this one when it came out, even though initially we all thought it was going to be bad. Like, it's a legacy sequel, it came out in January, it had all the makings to be bad, but somehow it escaped being bad because most of what I've seen on this movie's praise. So when I finally watched it last night, I was excited. I was like, okay, people are saying this is a great one. It's not on the same level as the first two, but it's still great. I'm going to lower my expectations a little bit, but I'm still going to expect a great movie. That might have been my fault, because this is not a great movie. It's not bad, no. This is still a good movie, but it does have the trappings of your now-to-be-expected legacy sequel. It kind of falls in that same trap, and it doesn't really have much unique or new. I mean, they try to do something new and unique with the story, which I'll give them credit for, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't quite connect with me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm such a newcomer to these movies, and some of these I need to watch more, but this one I was just disappointed. Was it still really funny? Oh, absolutely. Was it still really well acted? Of course it was. But story-wise, it has a lot of problems. A lot of problems in this one. So, my opinion on this movie may or may not be a little bit controversial, but keep in mind, it's just my opinion. You are entitled to yours, and if you think or feel differently, that is perfectly okay. So, with that all said, done, and out of the way, let's talk about Bad Boys for Life. Here's my written review. I hope you guys enjoy. This may sound like a weird comparison, but this feels like the Kung Fu Panda of the buddy cop movies. It's two great rewatchable classics, and then you get to the third one, and despite still being good, it feels like a huge downgrade compared to what came before. And then considering that KFP's fourth movie was trash that destroyed the franchise, has me scared that Ride or Die is going to be bad as well. But that's a topic for another time, because like I said, this third movie is a good entry, just not as great as it should be. All the core pros of the past two movies are still here and intact. You still have Smith and Lawrence being awesome and hilarious. You still have the great action. You still have the really good storytelling. You still have the really good cinematography, even better now that's a completely new team. And you still have the great humor. This movie's still funny as hell, but there is a lot of problems this time. A lot. It's still way too long at 2 hours, which means they didn't learn that lesson from the second movie. The pacing is wildly inconsistent. Sometimes it moves too fast, sometimes it moves too slow. Rarely does it ever actually make sense for how fast they can progress through the story with the actual runtime. A few jokes here and there don't land. There are a few moments I did roll my eyes and didn't find it that funny, but I'll admit there were a few jokes in the past two that didn't really work either. I just found more in here didn't land as much as those ones did. The villains are back to being throwaways. I hate the villains in this movie, man. They suck. They flat out suck. Like, they try to give some emotional pathos with the big twist they throw in there, but I still just did not care. Like, I really didn't. Outside of what it did to Lowry's character, I did not care. The emotional pathos at times feels forced. Like, really, really forced. The script is messy. There's a lot of inconsistencies and plot holes. And there's even more pointless, annoying, eye-rolling cameos that have no purpose in the actual movie whatsoever. DJ Khaled. Why the fuck was DJ Khaled in this movie? What purpose did he serve outside of putting money in his bank account? Nothing. Like, the Dan Marino one was random in the second one, but I could still look past it as like, oh, hey, it's Dan Marino, cool. Like, yes, I called it a con, but I called it a con in the last movie because it was random. Here it's random, and it sucked. Because DJ Khaled can't act for shit. Like, why is he in this movie? Just why? Why? Overall, it's the weakest of the three, but it's still pretty good, and it is still a worthwhile enough watch. It just doesn't really have much rewatch value for me. Sorry. And because it suffers from rewatch value, I'm unfortunately going to have to give it a final verdict of, well, the same final verdict I gave to Kung Fu Panda 3. It's a 6 out of 10. It's a huge drop-off from the past two movies, but it is by no means bad. Like, don't get me wrong. By no means bad. It has a lot of problems, but it's by no means bad. It's still fun, it's still worth watching, but it just isn't as great as it should be. It's a huge drop-off, but it is by no means bad, and I do still recommend it. Ride or Die, please don't suck. I've sat through enough shitty sequels and reboots this year already. Seriously, please don't suck, Ride or Die. Please. I've sat through so many bad sequels and so many bad reboots this year already. I don't want to sit through any more. So please, be that rare exception and be at least okay. If you're at least okay, I will be nice to you. And yeah, that's gonna end this review. I know it's not nearly as long as the Kung Fu Panda 3 review, but it's because with Kung Fu Panda 3 I had a lot more to say. Whereas with this one, it's another legacy sequel. That's pretty much all it is. The movie's not bad. It is still really good. It has its really good moments, and it is still a worthwhile watch. But don't expect the quality of the past two. It's long gone. Oh, also, another reason why I'm docking another point off this movie. That really good practical gore of the second one's gone. Like, it's mostly just squibs of blood. Almost the whole movie. And that's it. There's some brutal kills, but it's not really brutal enough. It's just a lot of gun shooting. Just huge bummer. Huge bummer. And that's going to be it for my review of Bad Boys for Life. I apologize if this is controversial, but it's just my opinion. If you love this movie, continue to love it. It's just not for me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And since it's going to be a little bit before Ride or Die actually gets here, we're going to switch gears for a little bit. Because, like I said in the beginning of this video, I have some 2024 movies that I need to catch up on. Starting with If. See you next time for that review.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come.